Hello, I'm the lawn therapist, and today I'm going to go over rehabbing low spots in your lawn and how you can address those with a couple tools: a board, some soil, a rake, and a shovel. The core aerating and dethatching will do a great job at leveling things out, but it won't really fill in huge dips or valleys. Grabbed two boards, a 12-foot board and I believe an 8-foot, and you can see that there's a bit of a bridging effect if you lay it across the lawn. The 12-foot board spans a bigger space, and you can see here to about that knuckle. Now you can tell that there's a space here with the 8-foot board, but because it doesn't really truly span the difference here, it doesn't quite get the same profile here. So we know that this is, in fact, about 1.5 inches lower at this bottom here in relation to 12 foot up that way and 12 foot that way. So the core aerating and dethatching to kind of fill in low spots works for small bumps and small imperfections in the lawn, and if it's adjacent to it, I can't get that soil over here very easily. Eventually I believe that would happen, but that would be 5 years worth of core aerating and knocking it down into those low spots. So this, I am going to take the shortcut, and I will use some topsoil to fill in this area. With having isolated low spots that span a fairly large distance and you want to fill them in a fairly good amount, I don't think I'll be filling this in all the way up to that 1.5 to 2 inch mark at its lowest spot, but I'm definitely going to get it kind of feathered out through this area. Now I find if you just dump 1.5 inches of soil and then try to work it in, it's very challenging. I found that if you have a little bit longer grass, 1.5 inches works okay. I've done this actually with 3 inches of grass, but it was very challenging to actually get it underneath the canopy. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a light layer of soil, try raking it in and kind of getting it under there, and then doing it again and again in about 1/2 inch increments, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how things are feeling. I'll leave that board here as a point of reference, so I'll work kind of around it. The lowest spot, I find if you rake it and give it a little pull like this, it just kind of drops in between. Those blades of grass. A couple different angles. Worked in pretty good. Next, we're just going to change this. So pretty point there to there. There's my lowest spot. That's several inches, way too low. How's the view of the grass from down there? Okay, so that's getting more level, at least in that spot. Now I'm going to rake it in. By doing it in layers like this, you're ensuring that you're not burying the grass too much. My goal is to still keep some of that grass tissue up. Alright, so we got soil level worked in pretty good right there, still a little bit right here. Come at it from multiple angles. Still quite a bit low in that one area. I think I can get another half an inch or so. Soil. Goal is still leave some of the grass blades sticking up. Gotta work it in a little bit more. You can tell that I actually put on about an inch, 2 inches in the deeper spots. Now I've actually had luck going up to about 3 inches using this kind of monotonous little technique. I've gone as deep as 4 inches and nothing grew up through that. But you can tell that there's clumps of grass leaves coming up. I'll work this in a little bit more. I'm keeping it loose. It will settle and it will start to get a little firmer up in there. But I won't have to reseed. And this will look pretty good in about a week. About 2 or 3 weeks, this will probably be one of the nicest looking parts of the lawn. This area right here only got about half an inch. And it looks good. And again, this will settle and I'll go over it again. You saw that there's still a little bit of a gap there. In a month or so, maybe 2 months. And then we'll reassess it in the spring, see what it's looking like. Now, I'm not going to roll this or compact this because I want the grass to grow up through it, use it as a support structure, and start to grow roots and rhizomes through this layer. Stolons, I suppose, as well. Now, if you go forward through this, kind of constantly kind of pull it towards you, you're not going to disturb where you've placed the soil, and it will open up the grass and allow that soil to fall in between. Now, if you go from the other way, you'll actually be pulling the soil and moving it around. This way, you just pull it a half an inch and let it drop, and just keep holding the leaves of the grass up to it. About 2 inches of this loose soil will probably equal out to be about an inch of settled soil. And again, this is cost effective. You're still using the same amount of soil to raise the level here. You're just doing it in a manner that you don't have to reseed, spend time and effort regrowing your lawn. Instead, you just kind of put it in the best possible state to survive. Manipulate some things. For instance, I'm manipulating the level of the soil here, but not so drastic that you're going to be killing off tissue. Because rehabbing your lawn shouldn't be a one-shot fix-all. Should be paying attention how it's symptomatic, address the issues as they pop up, and if it's something you can live with it. I don't have to level this out, but at the same time, kids like to play soccer. Kids like to drive their go kart through here. Big dips and valleys make them a little bit reckless, but this will help level it out a little bit, and it will look good. Like I said, it doesn't look bad right now even.